Hey everybody, Rob Wilson here, your Art of Breath co-founder and PSE Breathe head coach. And another common question we get is, what's the purpose of the 7-second exhale in the mobility protocol that we use? So in case you guys don't know, the mobility protocol that we often use is from PNF stretching, or we combine it with PNF stretching. And PNF, of course, stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. You don't really have to know all of that fancy stuff, but it's basically has its origins in physiotherapy. And the idea is that we are using the Golgi tendon organs and the spindles inside the muscle bellies to reset the length tension relationship of muscles through various range of motion. So it's a neuromuscular technique designed to get the nervous system to increase our default range of motion. Now, the breathing that we use inside that is a 4-4-7 ratio. So we get to an end range of motion that's challenging. We inhale for about 4 seconds. We pause for 4 seconds while we resist or create tension in that range. And then we exhale for what we say is 7 or 7+, at least 7 seconds. Now, the reason that we have that prolonged exhale is because that research shows prolonged exhale inside of breath rhythms engages parasympathetic and allows for a higher degree of muscular relaxation. Now, the 4-second hold, by the same token, actually increases neuroexcitation and allows us to get more tension. And if we can engage more motor units during that sort of isometric squeeze tension phase, then when we relax, we can actually get more motor units to engage in the relaxation process, so we can potentially get better access to newer ranges that we can control because there's nervous system access. So that 7-second prolonged exhale is really, really important because it allows us to disengage from the tension we just created so that we can find a new end range of motion. It's not for nothing. So now, one thing to keep in mind is that there can be caveats to this. So if you find that you're somebody who has anxiety, or you get anxiety when you do prolonged exhales, 4-4-7 is sort of a catch-all. What's really important is that the exhale is longer than the inhale and the hold durations. So let's say, for example, you're on the extreme end of the spectrum with your carbon dioxide tolerance test. Let's say you have a CO2 tolerance of 7 seconds. Well, that exhale at the end, it might be too much for you. So if you did a 2-2-4, you could get a similar result. What's really important is that that exhale is prolonged longer than the other two phases. So that's really, really important. So again, that prolonged exhale at the end of the inhale, hold, and squeeze, and then relax cycle, that exhale at the very end allows us to engage more parasympathetic. So not that we're not sympathetic at all, but we tip the needle towards parasympathetic. We allow those motor units that we've stimulated to sort of disengage, and then we can have access to new potential ranges of motion. All right, so I hope that helps, and keep the good questions coming. See you guys next time.